Almost immediately after the Hamas attack on Israel that began on October the 7th, thousands of Israelis who were around the world have returned to Israel to join the war effort, bearing in mind that just about every Israeli is trained in military combat and is an available resource for the Israeli Defense Forces for an eventuality just such as this. Among those who very conspicuously have not returned is Prime Minister Netanyahu's son Yair Netanyahu, who is in the US. A photograph has been circulating allegedly showing him on a beach in Miami. The authenticity of that is being determined, but there is no question that Netanyahu's son is now in the US and has not returned to Israel. And this has led to a great deal of disquiet within Israel, particularly and most worryingly for the government, within the armed forces. A number of soldiers fighting on the front, and these include those who have returned to Israel recently, and many of them who have returned from the US have been saying that this is outrageous, that Netanyahu's son should have been right there. Yair Netanyahu has been aggressive, but perhaps not in the best way. He has been aggressive in social media posts. He has been abusive of Palestinians, describing them as monsters rather than men. But this kind of hyperbole, this kind of abuse is not what Israel needs. It needs people on the ground, and he symbolically, particularly so. There have been issues about Yair Netanyahu that have arisen again and again. There was a video controversy where he was involved in an activity outside a nightclub, and that is an occasion where a number of allegations were made about Prime Minister Netanyahu, alleging corruption. And following that, there were further posts from Yair on social media. It has been reported in Israeli media that earlier this year, Yair Netanyahu was cautioned by his father and by his mother Sarah, who is Prime Minister Netanyahu's third wife, against social media posts. There clearly has been an element of friction that has developed within the family. It is not clear that the Prime Minister is entirely in charge of his son's actions, that he could in fact influence him to return or influence him in any matter one way or the other. But clearly Yair Netanyahu is not doing himself any good at all by positioning himself rather comfortably in the US when his mother country is at war, and when he has said, and he has said again and again, he is intensely loyal to Israel and to the Israeli cause. That loyalty is not showing at the time and not showing in the way that it needed to.